Hey everybody, hope you're well. Today I'm going to go through and walk you through a product shot that I'm going to do. Now, the product that I'm going to shoot is this baseball cap. This is a new baseball cap that I have from Nixon. Now, I'll say right now from the very start, this is not a promoted vlog. I'm not paid by Nixon. I bought this new hat. You may have seen or may have noticed from previous videos that I like to wear a baseball cap, and my other black one was starting to get a little bit whiffy, so I bought a new one, and I bought this one from Nixon. And I thought, do you know what? It's new, it's shiny, there's no sweat marks, so I'll do a product shot of it. So that's exactly what we are going to do or go through in this video. But what I don't want to do is just do a still shot, still photograph. Everybody does that, and yes, whilst it's great and it shows that it is a baseball cap, if you shoot products, you will want to find new ways, alternative ways to make your product photography stand out amongst other product photographers. By being creative and being different is how you'll get noticed over your competition. So what I've decided, what I'd like to do with this one is give it a little bit of movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to photograph this hat, but I'm going to create a time lapse of it, and we're going to make it turn just ever so slightly, just enough, just to give it a little bit of movement. I could do it through 360 degrees, but that would take me an hour. So I am using this little gem. There we go. It takes time to focus, but there we go. So I'm using this little gem here. I'm going to set it to 5 minutes. And I'm going to walk you through the setup that I'm going to use for this shot. Now, because I'm going to get it to move, this is hollow. I'm leaving the cardboardy neck, let the front remain its shape, but this is hollow. So how do I get this to stay full, really? And I've come up with this. I'm going to be shooting it on a plain white backdrop. So I'm going to be using a plain white piece of card. And I'm going to place the cap on the card. So I'm not actually going to make the hat move. I'm going to make the piece of card move. But how am I going to do that? Well, before I show you, or before I talk you through how I'm going to achieve the movement, I kind of want to really touch on finances, costs, materials and things like that. Don't panic, I'm not going to go into it in any great length before you think, oh, what's he going to go on about? So here we go. So really what we want to do is, if you are working with a very, very tight budget, or as I am in this case, no budget at all, I'm going to use just the bits that I have already around me. I'm going to go full MacGyver on this particular shot. So how do I make that card bit move? So we have the mechanism. This is what's going to create movement. But how do I get that card to sit on there? Because it's not going to balance on that pin. Fortunately, I have one of these. Now this is part of my Pica-Pod. Now the Pica-Pod is what this camera is sitting on at the moment. And this is an extension to that. It has the ability to screw in, so you can either have mobile phone or another device, portrait or landscape. I'm going to use my phone. That is going to be placed, helps if I do it around the right way. So I've got the flattest surface. Right, okay. We're in. Okay, so that sits now nicely on my phone. I'm going to unscrew that onto my, what is effectively an egg timer. Card on top, hat on top of that. Okay, but what I'm also going to do, in order to create a bit more interest, certainly lighting wise, is I'm going to be using this light here. I'm going to place that underneath my hat, just to bring some light out from underneath, just to give it a bit of separation from the white card. It's a black hat on a white card. Just give it a little bit of a glow. Now, if I take you through to the other room, where I've already set up the backdrop, and we'll talk you through that. So let's go next door. Okay, so here we have, I've just got a white backdrop. Now, because what I'm trying to do is create almost like a box, I'm going to light this from sort of above and then light down. So what I'm trying to do is create as much light as I can, and in order to do that, I've placed two pieces of card, larger card, to the side to effectively just help me bounce the light around the hat, to try and illuminate and trying to light the entire hat. To light from above, I'm going to use the Mafrotto Croma 2. Now, you may have seen the review I did on this Croma 2, and if you have, then you will know that the light on this doesn't last particularly long unless I've got it plugged in. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sat there with my Croma 2 on a monopod, and I'm going to be literally holding it above the product, the baseball cap, and I'm going to be there for 5 minutes. And I'm going to have it plugged into the mains. So I'm going to have an extension lead sat on my lap with the Croma 2 plugged in, and that's how I'm going to light the shot. So we are using things that we have available to us, rather than having spending loads and loads of money on. Now, don't get me wrong, if I had the money to be able to truss things up, or I had a boom arm, I think something like that, then of course I'm going to use it, but I don't. So I'm using what I have to my advantage. As I said before, we're going full MacGyver. So I'm going to finish getting set up, get the camera in place, because I'm going to be using this camera here. This is my Lumix G80, and I'm going to be using this camera to record the time lapse. So let's get cracking.